I have been very fearful of therapy most of my life. Mm-hmm. I always kind of thought it was one of those things where you speak to a therapist if you are like deeply messed up and like, you know, really struggling. But it's funny how it took me to get deeply messed up to realize, man, I needed this way before any of this happened. And I think I would have saved myself a lot of time in going around and around and around, learning the same things for a few years and a few seasons, if I had just spoke to someone about what I was kind of internally holding on to. So, and also like you said too, with swimming, I don't even think it's just swimming. I think it's sport in general. I think there's a lot of avenues where, you know, you swim, you perform, you get your 2 minutes on broadcast, and then everyone forgets about it. And that's where it is a bit of a sucky situation, but I also think that's what makes sport. And so you can't really have one without the other. But I do think being able to talk, I think that's, I guess my biggest takeaway on the question is speak to someone that's trained, and, you know, it takes a while to find someone that you trust, or even a advisor or a counselor or a mentor, someone older than you that's had the experience. You know, don't always take it from your buddy John, because, you know, you guys are going through the same stuff. No, different John.
John's a good guy. I've cried to John before.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's too, it's like, oh my goodness, and this is funny, like, I'm such an emotional person, and I think I try to not be that, because I feel like it's almost frowned upon. It's like, oh, I'm like this big, tough, masculine guy. You're not allowed to cry to people. Like, don't do it. And I broke down in front of everybody, you know, family, closest friends, my girlfriend's family, all her sisters. Like, I remember calling my best friend in the elevator. Well, he called me, and I just like lost it. So yeah, crazy things. But it's good to cry. It's good to speak to people, and good to get your help. And then that's how you grow.
Hey, everybody. Quick pause to say thank you for watching and listening to Social Kick. If you like this episode, give it a like. And if you like what we're all about, consider giving us a follow or subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, at Social Kick Swim. You know what to do. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll keep telling all the stories about swimming. Cheers.
I don't know if this is a question, but I just want to recognize to the audience that, you know, I've always thought about, obviously swimming, this sports in general. It's, imagine going for a job performance review, and you've worked hard at this job for 4 years, and you stand up in front of the entire freaking world who knows nothing about your job, nothing. And the whole world sees you just get out-touched, and like, and you fail, and then you lose your job. You lose your sponsors, you lose everything. And then what do? It's hard enough for ourselves, because we know we messed up, or we had a bad start, or we didn't have the right good taper, or we're hard enough in ourselves, the regrets that we have in our training. But the pressure the world then puts on a Michael Andrew personality at the 22,000 people in Indy, freaking, you know, after the performance you had at Tokyo, dude, I can only empathize with what you went through. And others feel like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, I really appreciate it.
And I think, you know, going to therapy is similar to going to like physical therapy that I see all the time, where it's like a lot of times, especially for men, and it goes on both categories. It's just like we push it off till it builds and builds and builds and builds. And a lot of times if you can get ahead of it, it just makes things a lot easier. But hey, a lot of times, and like I said, I think men especially, we need to learn from our own mistakes, our own experiences. Even if other people are nudging, we're not always good at nudges or noticing nudges.
Totally. Well, I think we like to conceal. And so it is one of those, I don't think it's bad to be macho. I don't think it's bad to, you know, I think obviously there's a certain point where you as a man, we bear a lot, and it's up to us to be a protector and to kind of, you know, be a strong foundation for those around us. But in order to be that, you've got to have a healthy base. So